Happy Tuesday, Mark.
Happy Tuesday, Susie. How's it going?
It's going pretty well, you know. Took a little weekend up in Winter Park, but I'm back in my home now. Yeah.
Little riding the lifts and blasting down kind of thing?
No, unfortunately. I did a race on Saturday, cross-country race.
Nice.
I'm not like cool enough. And then I just rode a little bit around town and stuff on Friday and Sunday.
Outstanding. How'd the race go?
It was pretty good. You know, it was rough. It opens with like a 45-minute climb, so that's not my thing.
But everybody went easy, right? Just to be nice.
Yes. Those ladies, they were just like, Susie, please, we just want to ride with you. We'll go easy.
That's what I would have figured. Let's just chill and visit and get to know each other, and then we'll worry about going hard. Yeah,
but it turns out when you're not specifically training for that kind of thing, which turns out to be like a 2-hour and 20-minute race, it kind of hurts.
I bet.
Yeah, but well, I'm here. I made it.
There you go. Yeah, and you got some good stuff for us to talk about today.
Yes, let's start with Buy Local Now. I think this is a service we don't really promote very often because it's free to retailers, any retailer, whether or not you have a SmartEtailing website. And of course, if you do have a SmartEtailing website or SmartEtailing subscription, I should say, it's included. There's no action required for those folks.
And it does work better if you're on our platform, but it does a ton regardless.
Yeah. So I guess, what is it? Should we start with that?
Well, yeah, Buy Local Now, as it says in the name, we're hoping that more consumers purchase at local bike shops. That's good for the local bike shops. It's good for the bike industry. It's certainly good for SmartEtailing. And this is a technology we came up with, I think it was 2012 or 13. I really don't remember exactly. But the idea is that brand websites tend to get a lot of traffic. Brands tell stories that attract consumers. They aren't necessarily ready to buy in the brand's process, but at some point they can do research on those brand sites and they get ready to buy. Some brands sell directly, some don't. And those that don't primarily are interested in this, although it works in both cases. The consumer finds a bike or a product on a site, a tool or whatever, and instead of the brand selling it to them, there'll be a button on the site that says Buy Local Now. That's connected to this technology. So every bike shop that has either a free Buy Local Now account or a paid subscription with SmartEtailing will show up in that list in 3 different ways. It could be who has it in stock right now. And if it's a SmartEtailing website, the little button that says Buy Local Now will take you right to that product page on the SmartEtailing website. If it's not a SmartEtailing website, we can't do that, but we can lead you right to your website. And then the next section is stores that don't have it in stock, but have it because we can see it in the supply chain. So via supplier sync, we can see they could get it. And then the third batch is we just don't know, but we still want to include you. We know you're a bike shop, but you don't have the free account and we don't know your inventory, but you are a bike shop in the area, so we want to include that. Mm-hmm. To me, it's one of the coolest things we've ever come up with. And I'm glad we took a minute. I'm glad you put that on the list and we take a minute to talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I was looking for a very specific bike or bike frame that I could turn into a single speed last year, and I used Buy Local Now to find something.
Yeah, I've used it. I bought shoes, ended up buying at Wheat Ridge in Colorado because that's close to my home. I've used it a ton, but I think it's a great technology. I wish we talked about it a little more, so I'm glad we're doing this. And I think a question came up recently from somebody signing up for the free accounts, like, all right, what's the catch? What's in it? What's in it for SmartEtailing? It's like, well, there isn't really a catch. There's certainly something in it for us. Because we exist because the local bike shop community exists. We exist because the cycling industry exists. And so anything we can do to support that, even if in the moment it doesn't directly result in revenue or money for us, it still supports the industry. And as far as, if you get even a little more granular, we want to support any local bike shop, particularly the ones that pay us, of course, because we don't have contracts. If we don't help stores sell more bikes and sell more parts and accessories, there's nothing keeping them with us. So, and we like that. We like the fact that we need to earn that every day, and that just kind of keeps our head in the right space. So there's a lot in it for us, but there is no catch. There's absolutely a free account. All you need is a compatible point of sale system. I'll put a link to all those compatible point of sale systems there. And it's pretty powerful.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Well, thanks for running through that. Yeah, if any questions, let us know.
Yep. And I think kind of along that same line, I asked Barbara in client success if we were still doing the free website reviews, audits, essentially. She said yes. And so I think that's amazing because one of the things that happens is everybody gets busy. And over time, best practices change around what's the best way to present a website to the public. And, if you're not on top of that, over the course of a pretty short amount of time, 6 months to 18 months, that world changes dramatically. You can be off the back a little bit. And again, we want the website to be successful. So if you would like the client success team to review your website, do a website review, I call them audits because they go pretty deep. I think it's more granular than just a review. But
and they're sorry.
Go ahead.
Oh, and they're not just looking at like your homepage, but they're looking in your site admin. It's front end, back end, all that good stuff.
It's remarkably thorough. And it doesn't cost a penny. There's no obligation. You don't have to do anything after. You could get those results. And what they do, they go through and they provide you a list of suggestions. Here are the things we found that could be better. You can do nothing with it. We won't hound you. But if you want that, I'll put a link in the notes to the form you fill out just to say, hey, this is me. I want the review. One of those folks on the team will pick that up. They'll do that review. And it's everything from, here's some broken links to here's a best practice around how you use XYZ, even into you've got some accessibility issues. That's gotten to be really important. If people with low vision that use screen readers can't use your site, if there's not enough contrast and there's a whole bunch of different things that go into that. That's gotten to be a financial burden in some states because of they're overly litigious. And lawsuits are coming about because of those things. So it's incredibly valuable. I would encourage anybody that feels like they don't know. If you don't know for sure your site style, do the free audit. And as always, they'll also include resources to the help center on how you can correct those things. And if you ever want to delegate it, then the agency side of the business, we're here to take that work and do it for you for a project cost. But at least it gets done. And we do a really good job of it. But as always, there's a way you can do it yourself at no extra charge. There's a way you can delegate that work for a fee if you want to do that.
Yeah. We want to talk to you. It's not all about we're excited to help you out. If you sign up for a website subscription, like we want to maintain that relationship and kind of help you along the way. It's not just a transaction too.
That's a good point. Forget forms and formal reviews and all that stuff and free accounts. If you just are curious, if you're an existing account that hadn't talked to us for a while and just want to say what's going on, call the 303-576-52. Excuse me, I hadn't said that number in all. 303-527-0676. Press 1 for the first available client success rep. They'll answer whatever questions, even if it's just a general. I got 20 minutes right now. I don't have time for the rest of this. Give me 3 things I can act on. They're happy to do that. Yeah. If you aren't a SmartEtailing client and you just have questions, I know the fear is if I call, they'll try and sell me something. That's absolutely true. But we do it in a way from an educational process. We think what we do offers a lot of value. We certainly will try and express that to you. But either if you get me when you call that sales line, which is press 2, same number, but you press 2, you'll get me or Brian. And either one of us are happy to talk about, what do we see in the industry, what tools are in use, why we think our solution is the best solution. And if you have that information and you choose not to visit with us now, that's great. If you don't want to do business with us, that's fine. But again, if the industry and the retailers don't do well, we don't do well. So we're always happy to talk about those. Plus, it's just fun to talk about. That's why most of us end up here is we like talking about bikes.
We do.
Yeah.
I know. I use it in the line in marketing a lot that it's like, bike shop software by bike shop people. And it's not. I'm not lying.
No, that's very true.
Right.
It's very true. It's some way, one way or the other, I think everybody in this company is a bike person.
Yep.
And I think that's really great because sometimes that just means they ride their bike to the grocery store and do errands with it. And sometimes they're doing crazy mountain bike races that start off with hour-long climbs.
I don't know about crazy.
We got you covered.
Yes. Yes. I mean, man, the vast majority of us have worked in shops, managed shops, owned shops. We got a few people. So anyway, very near and dear to our hearts.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. What about a tech tip, a Tuesday tech tip?
This Tuesday tech tip, it came to me as we were trying to think of tech tips last week, and it's something I hadn't thought about in forever. But on quite a few different page types in the system, you can define the URL directory. And what that means is you'll have your URL, so bikeshop.com / and then whatever comes right after that, you can define that in the page settings of responsive pages, form pages, location pages. And it's not one of those things that if you have an About Us page and you change it from the default of articles to about, that magically thousands of people will show up at your store. But SEO has become this thing where the more useful the content is itself, not metadata, not any hokey thing you do behind the scenes, but just how useful is that content? How easy is it for a person, and how easy is it for a search engine to understand that page? It all helps. And so if you've got an FAQ page, use the directory selection for FAQ. If you've got just an article you wrote about bike packing, use the article URL directory. URL directory. And if you're doing something like a buyer's guide, or if you've got a job posting or anything like that, just use that selected URL directory. It will really help complete that URL to be more useful, in addition to a good page name. That doesn't relieve you from coming up with a concise and useful page name, but they all go together. So I thought that was pretty handy. You can find that in the page settings. I'll put that here on the screen and in the notes. And I think it's a great little tip. It's a neat thing that we have because you can't really define those on your own. You have to choose from that list, but that list is pretty lengthy. So take a second when you build a page or when you edit a page and just look in those advanced settings and make sure that whatever the page topic is as closely reflected in that URL directory as possible.
Cool. I have a follow-up question.
Okay.
So in the example in our notes, you shared as an about, as kind of like a about our shop. Mm-hmm. So you selected about for the URL directory. What if you had changed that at some point, and so someone tried to go to whatever, .com/article /
Would it make the page a error type thing?
Yeah.
No, it will not. So in our system, what happens, everything from that first / after your .com or .net over to the PG in the number, so page 145 in this case, just the page ID is actually all that controls that. And so you could actually change the name of the page. And if somebody used a saved link to that old page name, it'll still resolve to the correct page.
Okay. Cool.
So that's a great question, because I can see somebody going, ooh, what if I change that and it messes everything up? Now, if you are hyper-focused on making sure that every URL is indexed exactly that way and every change gets redirected, well, you have to live with that neuroses, and maybe that matters. It could. I don't think it matters. I think Google's indexing things is often enough that they're going to pick that up, and it's not going to be a big deal. But we do have some clients that they're just dotting all the I's and crossing all the T's. If you want to redirect that, you can, but it will not stop the page from resolving.
Cool.
Yeah.
Good to know. Well, thank you.
Well, this is my last Tuesday in Alabama for a while. So we get back in the car tomorrow morning and head back to Colorado.
You taking 2 days to make it back?
Yeah. We're going to take 2 days because Melissa has to be at work on Thursday at 6 a.m.
Ooh, that's a tough turnaround.
It is a tough turnaround. So hopefully by the time everybody listens to this, we are well into the trip. And next time we have 10-Minute Tuesday, I'll be back in my normal spot in Colorado.
Yes. I mean, what's your favorite snack in the car?
Coffee.
Fair enough.
I have a little thermos, a little QBP thermos, as a matter of fact. And it's got bike stuff on it. And I have to always have coffee just to have a little sipping without having to stop. Coffee along the route is always hit and miss. On the way here, we stopped at that really cool coffee shop, which was fun, but that doesn't happen all the time. So coffee is my favorite snack.
Yes. Well, that's good. We'll drive safe.
Will do.
And we'll see you next Tuesday.
See you next Tuesday.